Hello everyone and welcome to this session on auditing and assurance standards and overview. My name is Leon Verdes. By profession, I am a chartered accountant and have spent more than 12 years in the various big four firms and have experience in auditing large corporate groups like the Tatas, Birlas, Siemens, British Petroleum, etc. In today's session, what we'll try and do is get a quick overview of the various auditing standards which are applicable in India, and not only understand the concepts of auditing standards, but also try and walk through each auditing standard in terms of how does it actually apply in a real-time audit environment. So just to start by the audit process, the auditor enhances the usefulness and the value of the financial statement and also increases the credibility of the other non-audit information released by management. Now, in times where investors like shareholders, bankers, various analysts need to invest in various companies, the financial statements of those companies need to be authenticated, need to be more reliable, and for this purpose, auditor and the auditing profession gains significance. Over the past few years, with the economic boom and more global investors coming to invest in various organizations, the role of auditor and the audit profession is gaining significance. Now, over the past few years, because of this amount of reliance on the auditor, the role of the auditor becomes not only important, but also he is expected to follow professional standards and be more and more dedicated in terms of how he does his audit. With this context, and to keep a proper discipline in the profession of audit, the various auditing standards have been codified. Now, the history of auditing standards goes way back to 1973, where the International Federation of Accountants in the UK set up the various auditing standards. In India also, the ICAI had set up various standards and formed the Auditing Practices Committee, which not only was looking up after the ethics of the profession, but was setting up standards from time to time. Now, what happened during the economic boom of the 1990s and 2000 was that various accounting and auditing firms lost focus on audit and tried to focus more and more on non-audit services and started gaining more of non-audit revenue. As a result of which, if you can see the various firms like Pricewaterhouse, Ernst & Young, their audit fees and non-audit fees comparison, the non-audit fees were much higher than the audit fees. And the result of that, what happened was the big frauds or the big world scams of the Enron, WorldCom and others. And this ultimately resulted in firms like Arthur Andersen, more than 100 years old, coming to scratch and ground. So, as a result of a bad phase in the accounting profession and the audit profession at large, what resulted was that there was more need for having stringent auditing standards, for having a stronger law, and to have a stronger oversight board. What was done in the US at this point of time was the Surveillance Auxiliaries Act came up, the PCOB was set up, and various other initiatives were carried out. Also, in the year 2004, it was felt that the international standards on auditing need to be made more harmonized across the globe, and the Clarity project of setting up international standards globally was set up. So what was done as a result of this Clarity project was, it was felt that there was need for more self-regulation from the profession versus various government regulations, and it was felt need for having stricter regulations and more public oversight. So what is the Clarity project? Under the Clarity project, the Institute of Federation of Accountants, the European Union, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the Public Company Accounting and Oversight Board, all have set up harmonized auditing standards, and ICAI as a part of this Clarity project has also accepted this harmonized auditing standards. As a result of which, in the last 1 or 2 years, all the auditing standards which were applicable in India have been revamped, have been recoded, and have now been harmonized with the international auditing standards. So what do you mean by auditing standards? Auditing standards serve as a guideline for and measures of the quality of the auditor's performance. IASB issues international auditing standards, and they are issued to the various members of the international fraternity.